Jackson. All right? You know what? One thing I loved a lot of everything about you this year, but one thing I love is you have kept the main thing, Super Bowl. You've taken it week at a time, but you have always been focused on the Super Bowl. You probably won't win the MVP. And honestly, I'm just guessing, but I feel like this is probably how you feel. You probably don't even care about that. You got 2. I'm sure you want to win more in the past, but right now, you are focused on that Lombardi trophy. But it all begins with the Steelers. You got to beat them, obviously, to get the main goal. So just go out there, play your game. Don't get antsy, all right, as you said. Don't worry about what people are saying. Oh, he's got to be a pocket passer. Can he win it with his arm? Just win it. Do you by running the football, handing it off to Derrick Henry, and being that elite passer you've been in the regular season come playoff time. Lamar Jackson, I believe in you.
All right. So I do think it's fair for Lamar to be on the Bud list, mainly because of the season that he's having this year. And yeah, I think losing to the Steelers, especially considering how the Steelers have been playing, if the Steelers were a better team and they were coming into this game really hot, they just won their last 4 games in a row or something like that and are really rolling and had great momentum, then I would, be like, hey, this is more of a fair battle. You can't expect Lamar just to win every game just because he's Lamar. But in this situation, this feels like this has to be a game that Lamar should be like, I am an all-time great quarterback. Not that he needs to be that in order for them to win, but this should be like, this is an opportunity for him to just put another check mark into that, to be like, stop saying I can't play the Steelers. Stop saying I can't ball out in the playoffs. Stop saying all the things that I can't do. Just stop. It's nonsense. And I think, that's what all of these games now moving forward just continue to be for Lamar. When you have 45 plus 100 yards and 900 plus rushing, and you have the passer rating that you do, and the touchdowns and the interceptions and the MVP, you have all those accolades. Yeah, every single playoff game, there's just a lot of pressure for you to at least individually play great. I am not saying that you have to win. Like, I've defended even players many times who have not had like amazing box scores and lost, and I'm kind of like, well, yeah, look why you lost. So what do you expect this player to be able to do in this situation with this team, with this roster, going up against this better team? I can break all that down, and that would maybe be the case if Lamar plays the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, et cetera, the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles. But like, any of those explanations go out the door for me when you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are actually a pretty good team. I do. But it just can't be denied that they have exactly zero momentum. And when you see what the other teams, your team itself, has done to them as of late, you see what the Eagles did to them. You see what you did to them. You see what the Kansas City Chiefs did to them. Like, you saw what the Bengals did. Like, you could see, hey, if we're a great team, if we're a top team, we convincingly win. And if the team struggles because the defense isn't that good, whatever, you can't point to Lamar being a problem. Like, if the Ravens lose, it better be with Lamar having a box score of, 350 total yards, whatever, 400 total yards, and 3 total touchdowns. Like, it better not be because Lamar threw 2 interceptions, had 55% completion percentage, and, and a fumble. Like that it can't be. That it can't be. And so, and for the Baltimore Ravens' sake, it can't be one of those weird things where it's like, we handed the ball off to Derrick Henry 4 times. And it's like, what was that? And Lamar Jackson threw the ball 55 times. It's like, huh? The heck was that? So that's kind of the lens that I'm looking at it through for Lamar Jackson, specifically against the Steelers. Again, I think it changes with each round. But also, I know, obviously, missing Zay Flowers and all of that, which definitely hurts. But that is who Lamar Jackson is in this conversation, where he is supposed to be an all-time great. And so, obviously, losing Zay is obviously far from ideal. Your number one wide receiver target, but you're too good, Lamar Jackson. You still have too good of weapons around you. You're playing at home, and you're playing a team that should still be inferior to you, regardless of those things. At least you offensively to them defensively. Like you, that's what I'm saying. Individually, Lamar should still ball regardless. That's just kind of what it seems to be very obvious to me. And I think also with every successful high-level playoff game that you play, it continues to build that playoff momentum and knock off this whole idea that like, oh, Lamar Jackson just is too scared. Because even Bruce, like, antsy, he points that out. And, it's so frustrating when they try to act like that's unique to Lamar Jackson, that he admits that he can get antsy or nervous and things of that nature. Like it's this moral failing for Lamar, which is absolute nonsense. When I made the argument that like even Patrick Mahomes gets nervous of that, people are like, that's not true. That's not true. Interesting. Let's listen to Patrick Mahomes from his own mouth.
I want to know, do you ever get nervous before the big games?
Oh, I always get nervous. I think that's a part of the game, and it's a part of anything you do in life. Is you have those nerves, but how can you channel those to put them in the right direction and use them in the right way?
Well, we know Patrick Mahomes has a pretty unmistakable voice, so yeah. So he's allowed to admit that he gets nervous, and that it's part of human nature. But when Lamar Jackson admits it and says it, it's like, oh, can you believe it? He's finally admitted that he gets nervous, and let's now use it as a way to pull Lamar down and rip Lamar. Nah. No, sir. Not today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, never. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson being under duress, under pressure for a big game and a big win against the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.